you've got Kel'Thuzad on board, you've got Alakir on board, all as a result of Devolve. And yes, I am playing Cubelock, and I'm pretending to be a Shaman with Alakir. So things did not work out here for my opponent. You can kill Alakir, but Kel'Thuzad just brings him back to life. That was a really sweet victory against a Shaman there. So, before we explore today's deck, I just wanted to say a massive thank you to everyone. We've hit 1,000 subscribers. It's a major milestone for me. And as a result, I'm going to be doing a packs giveaway. So I'm going to be giving away 2 sets of 40 packs as a gift to you guys who subscribe to my channel, who've been supporting me. And here's how it's going to work. To be in for a chance to win 40 packs, you simply need to be a subscriber of my channel and then leave a comment in the comments section of this video. And in this comment, you need to simply tell me, what is your favourite deck in wild mode right now? And if you want, leave a deck code, but it's not compulsory, so simply tell me what is your favourite deck. The deadline is in 2 weeks, so 9 AM UK time on the 21st of January. I'll gather all of the names of the people who have commented. I will then leave a pinned comment announcing the winners and also reply to your individual comments notifying you as a winner. You'll then need to send me your Battle.net ID. You could leave this in a reply in the comments section, or to be safe, you could just send me a private message on YouTube. And once we're friends in game, I will send you 40 packs. You'll also need to tell me which region you were on. Is it EU, is it Asia, or is it NA? So today we're going to be looking at Tiny1009's Cubelock, and I've already played this deck, but this version is slightly different. Tiny1009, I love that name by the way, did an update on the deck over Christmas, and this deck now includes Skull of the Man'ari. Now, I'm still torn over whether this is a good card. Sometimes you draw it late and there are no demons to pull out from your hand. Sometimes it's too slow. You don't have time to spend 5 mana doing nothing on a particular turn since your opponent is pressuring you. So, it's not by any means a perfect card. But sometimes it can just give you the demons that you need turn after turn, which can be game winning. So this deck in general can crush aggro if you get Voidcaller and Dark Pact on turn 5 into a Voidlord. The deck can also lose badly to aggro if you don't have a way to stop the early onslaught, and you can just be dead on turn 4 or turn 5, especially when you just tap for the first 3 turns, and that can just speed up your demise. So even with Defile, even with Hellfire, just sometimes it's not enough against aggro, and of course Aggro Paladin is everywhere. So, oh, and in this video, I get 500 wins with Warlock. So imagine that, Golden Guld'an emoting you non-stop. That's just so glorious. So in this video, we're going to be looking at a series of full games and highlights of this deck going up against various other decks on the wild mode ladder. So, onward to our first highlight. Right, so the first thing that I just wanted to highlight was the power of Doomguards. You've seen me showcase something like this before, but it can give you unexpected lethals, and it's very difficult sometimes for your opponent to play around. But we're going up against Control Warrior, yes, and he's got Justicar, Tank Up. I love Tank Up, by the way. I think it's such a brilliant mechanic. In this instance, our health was really low. So Defile brings out double Doomguard for us. No, scratch that. Quadruple Doomguard to the face. And we end the turn with a low health total, but if we can survive for one more turn, we should be able to find lethal. I'll sleep with the fishes. So he tanks up, puts a taunt in the way. He's probably feeling pretty good about himself right about now, thinking, hey, I'm safe. No, you're not. Because in this instance, we get 6 Doomguards back. And this is one of those glorious situations where Void Walkers do not dilute the pool of demons that come back to life. 6 Doomguards getting us crazy lethal. Okay, in this next little game, going up against a hunter. Now, you do see a few hunters in the early ranks, going from sort of, what, rank 20 to rank 15. Hunters can be easy to grind the ladder with. You can get some good wins early on the ladder. Games tend to be relatively quick. And if you get a curve, hunters are very difficult to stop. That 2 damage hero power is significant. Especially when they weave it in every turn, whilst also playing minions. But our deck has healing, we have Dark Pact, we have the Spellstone as well. So, you know, we're not completely powerless against Hunter's damage. But the Hunter damage can pile up relatively quickly. And he's going face there. He's going all face, feeling confident enough to ignore my 2-1. So I could have defiled on that turn, but I want to wait for a better board to defile with. I'm going to take 2 extra damage here because I did not defile, but I'm hoping for, oh look, a 2 health minion. So do we defile now? I think it's reasonable. We kill a more significant minion. But we're taking a lot of damage, and again, once his hero power starts to weave in more frequently, once the kill commands come out, we're in trouble. It's been a long time since I've seen Huge Toad played on the ladder. It's a fun card in some ways. Anyway. I guess, in this instance, we just coin out here our weapon. For a moment, I thought about coining out the lackey, but actually coining out the weapon, yes, it's slow. Yes, we haven't developed anything on the board. Last turn, yes, we're taking a hell of a lot of damage to our face. However, there he is. He is Mal'Ganis, and he is a turtle. I mean, eternal. Yeah, this is reasonable. He has to deal with a 9/7 now. I mean, the 7 health isn't great. He is kind of easy to kill if you've got board presence, but this is glorious right here. The hero power does nothing, and he did that in the wrong order, which I find amazing. So Skull of the Man'ari actually working out for us here. And it's worth thinking, if he'd done that in the right order and got the additional damage in, has he thrown the game? It's little misplays like that that can just throw games. But we're still in a bad position though. Our health total is incredibly low. He is a hunter with a hero power that does 2 damage. He does have access to kill commands.
Oh yes, they'll serve me now.
So, by playing the lackey, I'm hoping that I can get a Voidlord. He's trying to put on here as much pressure as he can. And look at his health total. He's at 30. He's at 30. That's insane. So we've got a lot of work to do in order to kill him. That's not a Voidlord. It's hoping to block a little bit of aggro from the board. But then having said that, do we really want to leave any beasts up? If we tried to kill both beasts, would that have helped us against kill command? Not really. Even a kill command for 3 plus a hero power is still significant. So I think this strategy is best. We just hope he doesn't get KC. And we have to kill him very quickly here. We have 2 turns. 2 turns here. So we don't have lethal. It's close, but we don't have it. We can't tap. I mean, if we'd had Dark Pact, we could have cubed. We could have cubed Doomguard and Dark Pacted the cube for some healing. So it all comes down to this one turn, and it comes down to quick shot. It comes down to kill command. Does he have those things? And he's going to make me wait here, and I am hovering over the concede button, ready to concede, and no. So, Voidlord, saving me there. Just having access to those taunts is so good against aggro. And Skull of the Man'ari doing some great work there for me. Okay, in this next little game, we're going up against a Paladin. Now, if we thought the Hunter was aggressive in that previous game, Paladins, well, they can take aggression to a whole nother level.
I'm in charge now.
Oh, there he is. There's Patches. Unfortunate for the Paladin, but sending me a message perhaps, saying that he's in charge now. Our hand is looking a bit unfortunate. I'd really like to see a Void Caller. And it's one of my issues with this deck. It can be inconsistent. I've had games where I just draw my entire army of late game demons and I don't get lackeys, I don't get Void Callers, and really there's nothing I can do for quite a few turns, and usually by then you're dead. So Lackey and Void Caller have pretty much become instant keeps for me in my opening hand. And in this instance against the Paladin, we have Defile, which is really, really good. But we've got to time it correctly. The Divine Shield on the shielded mini-bots there is quite annoying. It means that we can't kill that board off. So the next best play is Skull of the Man'ari, and we just hope that we get our Voidlord down. Yeah, Holy Light, he's impressed, clearly. In fact, we will get our Voidlord down because there are no other demons in hand. Divine Favour, such a good card in Aggro Paladin. It's that instant refill that gives them the pressure. Something that Pirate Warrior, for example, didn't really have. They didn't have anything in the way of card draw. So Voidlord is going to block the way for this Aggro Paladin. We could play Faceless Manipulator here, or actually it could just be better to Defile. And if you're the aggro deck, you can't play around Defile. It's so hard because you have to flood the board, you have to take the risk, you have to take that chance.
Reporting for duty.
Well, that's another board that's going to be good, potentially, for Defile. No demons in hand, unfortunately. This is another problem with Skull of the Man'ari. You play it, you get one demon down, but you don't get any more. Not for a while, so Another disadvantage of that card. However, it did save me in this game. It brought down the Voidlord. Does that mean that Skull of the Man'ari is worth playing, even if it gets value for maybe just 1 or 2 turns? Anyway. Yeah, we build a wall. Couldn't get through the wall. It's game over. Okay, our next game is against a mage. The mages are a bit of a problem. Our deck can be quite slow. Unless we can get a Voidcaller down early into a Dark Pact to get something huge down like a Mal'Ganis or a Doomguard, our deck can be quite slow. If this is Quest Mage, then they will take their sweet time building up their combos, finish their quest, and kill you. He didn't play the quest. So that tells me it's probably Secrets Mage. And whilst they don't build up any specific combo, they can just burst you down slowly but surely over the course of the game. But I'd rather face Secrets Mage than Quest Mage or Exodia Mage. Because with those decks, you sometimes just can't kill them quick enough. And then they get their combo and they just win. But this is Secrets Mage, and I feel better about this. Even though we'll probably take more damage early, that's fine. And hey, explosive runes. It's actually really good here. For me. Voidcaller into explosive runes. The dream. What response will we have? That's actually quite a weak response. My Doomguard contests the Archaeologist quite well here. And I think we have to trade, but we can also afford to tap, because we've got nothing else to do. Our fireworks will start from next turn onwards. We have the Lackey in hand, we have Skull of the Man'ari. What we do need, though, is to consider healing at some point.
Excuse me, you are on fire.
Yep, it's just bursting our face down. Actually preferring the Lackey here, and the reason is it develops something on the board. Skull of the Man'ari would have been nice, because we've got the Voidlord, but we'd have gone a turn without developing anything, or having anything on the board. So I actually think Lackey's better here. And I want to play the Lackey before I start drawing my big demons into my hand. We've already got a Voidlord in there. So I want to get value on the Lackey while I can. Oh, there's another big demon. One of those secrets is probably Counterspell, which would be very awkward. Yeah, I probably should have ordered that differently. Maybe I could have just have defiled instead. I can still defile now. But, do you know what? This is much better. Secrets Mage does not run Flame Strike. They don't run Blizzard. Unless they're Big Spell Mage. So, this is good. We're just creating a barrier here. This is going to frustrate him an awful, awful lot. He may feel the need to commit a Frostbolt here on a 1/3, and if he does that, hey, I'm really, really happy.
We have many secrets.
That felt really, really good. Making the trade with the Mana Worm there just felt so very, very good. So Voidlord there, earning his keep, giving us a nice defensive wall. Those secrets are concerning again. So, is that another counter spell? That's the question. I do need the healing Dark Pact, so I think I need to be careful here. So I could just defile, and it is counter spell, okay. So this is fine now. Okay, and we're up to a respectable health total. And he's running out of options. He's going to be depleted of resources from his hand at least quite soon. But we've got plenty of resources in our hand. Wow, going all face with Burn. He knows he's not going to win a board control battle. Just going all face. And the healing from the Dark Pact, I think, was very important and very timely. Now, we could still lose this game. Unless we get some more healing. And we have healing in hand. I mean, I can spell stone one of my own minions if I really want to. But I'm not going to tap. There is no need here. The Emperor discount alone is substantial and significant. We don't need to be greedy by wanting to get another card into our hand.
You are on fire.
And he's not giving up here on his face strategy. I've got to commend him. He is consistent. Oh look, Mal'Ganis survives. So we just go face here, I think. We've now put him on a clock.
Amazing.
Those minions are not going to be able to do anything. We can forget about them. What we have to worry about is burn from hand to face. That's our concern. Have we done enough to stop him from killing us in this game? I think we have.
You win.
Ah, okay. So Blood Reaver Guld'an would have given us access to healing there, which would have sealed the deal. Okay, so that was a pretty sweet victory against the mage. This next little clip is against a mill rogue. Now, mill rogues, really tough to beat, because as a warlock, you tend to tap an awful lot. You tend to build up, you know, a selection of cards in your hand, and then they start milling you and you lose the game. But in this instance, Doomguards came in handy. Okay, now, for my misfortune, I went up against the same guy again. The same mill rogue, but now I know what I'm up against. And so, every turn, my focus is simply on emptying my hand. And tapping as little as possible. Always keeping an eye on the number of cards left in my deck, in my hand, in his deck, and in his hand. It's the advantage of playing on wild mode sometimes. There are far fewer players, and as a result, you can just queue into the same people again and again. Sometimes that's a disadvantage because their decks are just better than yours, or you don't match up well against them. And in this case, I shouldn't be matching up well against a mill rogue. And as I say, my deck likes to hoard cards, it likes to tap and tap and tap. That puts me at a disadvantage in terms of being milled and overdrawing. But look, in this instance, we're putting him under a ridiculous amount of pressure. And by his turn 7, he's nearly dead. An antique heal bot there, an old favourite of mine. I need to find an excuse to play it a bit more. I could have put the lackey in, actually. I could have put the lackey in. I'm just contemplating here then. Do I spellstone something? Just to get another card out of my hand. I mean, it is a mill rogue, after all. Wow. That was actually a pretty cool win there. And this win gets us to rank 11, which I'm pretty pleased with. But also, this was my 500th win with Warlock. Feels good. So now I've got the ability to emote people with Golden Guld'an. Can you imagine that? Golden Guld'an emoting you. That's quite intimidating and tilting in itself. So 500 wins with Warlock here. Big milestone for me, actually. So I'm really chuffed. Okay. This next little highlight. Aggro Paladin. Now I've got the Emperor on board. The initial turn that you play the Emperor, it's pretty slow in itself, because he's got this massive board. I've got this one minion that comes down, doesn't do anything to his board. But the discounts do add up. And the question is, can I survive for another turn?
I wonder.
Unless he has a way of buffing the dudes, I can survive for another turn, but do I want to risk it? No. We get rid of the board. And here is a very interesting play. Double discounts. What does this mean for me? It means I have the ability now to play Blood Reaver Guld'an. It means that I have the ability to be a little bit more flexible. And oh yes, he is killing both Emperors. I think he realises that I can start putting on some pressure now. Okay, he loads up the board. Really loads up the board. So, Voidlord and a lackey on the same turn. That's pretty disgusting. And at this rate, we just may be able to match him when it comes to value and putting stuff down. He's got cheap stuff that he can go wide with. Well, I've got some cheap stuff too, except my cheap things are very high value. What a good card. Sunkeeper Tarim. Are we dead? Yeah, it looks like we're not dead. Oh, okay. One off lethal. Interesting. So now, we can, on turn 9, we can Blood Reaver Guld'an here. But we may want to see what comes out of this lackey. That's actually useful. And the power of the discounts from the Emperors. This now gives us access to the hero power. I actually value killing the cannon just because it does that 2 damage when he plays a pirate. Don't know how many other pirates he's got left. Wow, look at him go. Even after all of this, this guy, he's still being the aggressor almost. You know, he's still in good shape. Oh, that's really good. If we Hellfire, our taunts are dying anyway. So we just sacrifice them. And we put another roadblock in the way. Again, the discounts from the Emperor really coming in handy. And we're almost taking him to fatigue. Feels good. Okay. Let's look at one more game. Now, going up against the priest, and one strategy here is to try and pressure the priest. Void Caller on turn 4, or coined out on turn 3, can provide significant pressure. Particularly if it can bring out a Doomguard, or even a Mal'Ganis. I mean, the chances are, though, the priest will have a solution in hand, Shadow of Death. But if they don't have a solution, it's game over for them. Because the pressure that creates is just too significant. By the time they eventually kill it, you've put more threats down on the board. We're also buffing that Spellstone as well, which is pretty important. It deals with something like Razar, for example, on turn 5. Allows us to keep our board and keep the pressure going. Okay, there's a Doomguard. We can't play it, so in this instance, I'm just playing Faceless for the pressure. Otherwise, we just would have tapped on that turn. But I think I've got him on the ropes here, and I just want to keep the pressure going. So that was my reason for playing Faceless on the Voidlord. Okay, so no Void Callers, no lackeys that I can play here. Feeling a bit awkward with my hand at the moment. Okay, that doesn't do very much. Takes 4 damage off the board. I really just want a Doomguard here. Okay, that's alright. That's actually fine. Do I tap? Don't think there's a need to. Probably should have. But I'm closing in on lethal. Oh, look. You don't see that card every day. And that just did nothing for him. And that's lethal. So, The pressure, the early pressure against the priest, the decision to play the Doomguard and risk discarding 2 good cards, it actually paid off. And there's the streak into rank 10. Okay, so Tiny1009's Skull of the Man'ari Cubelock. Skull of the Man'ari did some good work for me in this video. It actually helped me out of some quite challenging situations. I've made my mind up about the card now. I like it. I really do. Yes, there are situations where you don't draw it until the very late game and you've played all your demons. There are situations where you play it and there are no demons in hand. But when it does work, it works really, really well, especially in instances where just plopping down a Voidlord for free or plopping down a Doomguard for free can just be game-winning and life-saving. So I'm a fan of it. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, everyone. Thank you all very much for your support. As I say, we hit 1,000 subscribers, which I'm really happy about. At the start of the video, I explained about the packs giveaway, 2 sets of 40 packs. So, you know, if you missed that, do rewind back and have a listen. Yeah, I'll see you guys all again very soon for more Wild Mode fun.